Today's Spotlight is brought to you in part by presenting sponsor, Busey Bank. Busey, your dream, our promise. Welcome back to Spotlight. I'm your host, Jane Winnett. I'm joined now by Mike Briggs and Patty Boheme of Little Friends. So welcome.
Thank you.
Thank
it's nice
you.
to be here.
We're excited to have you here. Mike, you know, you've been around now for about a year in the position that you're in now with Little Friends. Give us a little bit of the mission of Little Friends.
Okay, in simple terms, we help children and adults that are challenged with developmental disabilities and autism. But in addition to children and adults, we also help their families. And our objective is to try to help them work, live, learn, and thrive in the communities that they're in.
It's a wonderful mission, and you've done a lot of good work for a lot of years, right?
Thanks. Almost, literally, we're in year 53, which is kind of hard to believe.
It's a long time. It's a long time doing quality work and growing each and every year.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm going to ask you, Patty, now I'm going to look at my notes because it's a long title, so I want to get it right. You closed a program a while back called Early Intervention Parent-Infant Program, or PIP for short, which I will get right every time from here on out. What is PIP and why did you close it?
Okay, it was a wonderful center-based program where we served children 0 to 3 and their parents. But there was a federal mandate that required, and Illinois went along with it, that services for children 0 to 3 had to be delivered in natural environment, which primarily means in the home. So this wonderful program serving over 100 kids and their families, we had to close it because the state actually would penalize the people that gave us referrals, actually, and this still goes on, for financially if they referred to center-based programs. So actually we quit getting referrals and we had to close.
Oh,
which was tough.
Yeah, and if you had 100 families that were involved with that, there was clearly a need, right?
Yeah. So it's very exciting to be here because we're going to reopen it.
Okay, so Mike, tell us how that's all come about and what's going on.
Well, I think part of it comes back to maybe my own personal experience in for-profit, being the entrepreneurial spirit that I had. When I would be introduced into the community at different functions that I would go to, it was rare that I didn't hear someone say, "Oh my goodness, thank you for the parent-infant program that you had. It was incredible. It either helped my family, it helped a friend." It not only helped the children that were a part of it, but it also helped the parents. And I probably heard it no less than 20 times. And after hearing it one day, I finally decided that we had something that was special. And that while there were reasons related to the funding that caused us to have to stop doing it, the needs were really true. And so from that perspective, maybe we needed to change our paradigm with regard to how we looked at the program and then try to bring it back. And so one day I came back from one of the events that I'd been to, and I came in to see Patty, and I said, I want to start PIP back. I want to bring parent-infant program back. And admittedly, I didn't know what we did. But I knew it was. I know it's the truth. But I knew it was good. I knew it was good, and I knew that we'd made a difference in people's lives. And because of that, I said, we've got to bring this back. We've got to figure out how to do it. And so now that's the quest, and here we are today telling people that this is what's going to happen.
I think it's interesting. I'm going to kind of focus on two things, and then Patty, I'm going to ask you to tell us a little bit more about the program. But 0 to 3, I mean, everything you read, everything you hear as a parent is those are just critical years.
Absolutely.
Right, for children, and so obviously that's a key part of it. But I like the other thing that you said about it's a different paradigm. Sometimes we hear no, and we just say no. And then other times we hear no, like you obviously have, and you thought, how do I do that a different way?
How do we do it a different way? How do we make it affordable?
Yeah.
And it means changing costing models in terms of how you do things. Our whole approach is to try to cover only our variable costs associated with this. And in doing so, it completely changes the model, which can make it affordable and can make it available for parents. And not only will we help children, and there's such a huge impact that goes on with early intervention, but the other part of it is the impact that it has on parents who get news that their child has special needs. And when that happens, it can be devastating.
Sure.
And knowing where you can go and knowing that there's someone who can help is a wonderful thing, and I think that it's something that as an organization we need to provide to the community, and that's why we want to do it.
I love it because it's mission based.
And because it's not going to be funded through the state, we will be able to do different things. And so we'll be able to serve a wider variety of kids that actually don't meet criteria in the state system. And when we get into talking about the program, the early intervention system does not do groups. And so, that's what we're going to go back to doing.
Okay, so tell us a little bit more about that. So describe what that would look like and feel like if I wanted to access it.
So what we will do is we will have groups for children 0 to 3 at our center, and one of the key pieces is the parents will participate right along with their children. So we'll have around 4 children and 4 moms or dads, whoever comes with them, because they will have to be right there with the kids, because the parents are going to learn just like those children. The program will focus a lot on communication. A lot of these children are not talking, and so we'll be figuring out ways that they can communicate, and it might just be that they're using pictures to say they want a cookie. We will do music, we will do play, we will do all sorts of things to help these kids regulate themselves, because a lot of these kids are very, very active. We'll be teaching parents positive, proactive behavior management strategies so they can get their children in the right place very early on. Probably one of the most exciting parts about this program is that there's not a lot of parent support groups, so there will be a parent support group, there will be parent training. When you are seeing parents every week, what happens is you finally see a mom or a dad that knows what you're dealing with. Your neighbor next door's child, you hear about, oh, they're talking and they're doing so well, but your child is not doing the same. But in the parent-infant program, what happens is those parents share all the excitement of a small gain for their child, which is phenomenal, and then everybody gets so excited, and that's how you move forward. In the early intervention system now, there's a lot of isolation because these families are in the homes. They don't see other parents. Right. So this will definitely change that. The other thing that's really important and that we learned from our other program is that we need to prepare these kids, because many of them will go into our early childhood programs. And so when they are doing circle time with us and they're sitting at a table working in their unstructured environment, we get them so much more ready. They are ahead of the game when they get into the early childhood programs.
And I'm sure that transition probably at that point is easier as well. Because
much easier.
Mike, where's it? It's held at the center, is that right?
The plans are is that it's going to be held at our campus in Naperville on Wright Street, and where we have a number of buildings, and it'll be at that facility.
So there's familiarity,
Absolutely.
right? So that's got to be another positive benefit.
And another great thing is at our center we have a variety of clinicians. So we have a psychologist, we have speech therapists, occupational therapists, counselors, applied behavior analysis therapists. So they will get groups with us, but then if they need therapy, they'll be able to get that there too.
It's right there. It's a one-stop shop. That's
the
really
idea.
a good thing.
For both children and parents.
Yeah, I think that's such an important part, right?
And together, it's incredibly important that it address both.
We had a parent that actually said, we did a focus group last week, and what she said was, what really made a difference for my child and for me personally to be a better mom was participating in the program. If I had not participated in the program, I would not be where I'm today, and neither would my daughter.
That's a wonderful story.
So that was great.
That's a wonderful story. And I assume in order to get involved and for people to participate, go to the website?
They can go to the website, can also contact Patty's office,
and
the Law Firm
honestly,
Center for Autism.
they can call us now. They can ask us questions. We'll take their information because we'll be communicating this in the next 60 days, but we will be starting this summer, and so, I'm ready to talk to families now.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, I applaud you for looking outside the box and finding a way to meet the needs. Oftentimes we don't, and so I applaud you for
Thank
that.
you.
And if you would like to find out more information about the Early Intervention Parent Information Program, or PIP for short, at Little Friends, please go and visit their website. We're going to take a quick break. Don't go away. We're coming right back with more Spotlight.